Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at the GuardStation software. So we're going to go ahead and log into the GuardStation software. Your technician should have already set this up for you, created the administration account, set a few things up, and got to where we can get to this point of logging in. We're going to assume that that's completed already. Once the technician has got it set up and you're able to log in, the first thing you want to do is set a user so that you can log in yourself inside the software if your technician has not already done this for you. So what we want to do is down at the bottom here, this is the control panel. This is all the different tabs and everything that you're able to do with inside the software. Some of you, if you're not an admin, may not see all of these tabs. But what we want to do first is under user management. So down here at the bottom we want to click on user management, and if your technician has set it up, this user administration account will already be changed, and more than likely you already have an account for this software on your PC. If you do not have an account, however, you can add a new user here under the user management screen. So we want to click on add, and then what we want to do is enter a username and a password. And if you've created a cloud account to be able to connect on your mobile device, your mobile phone or your tablet, it's best to keep it consistent. You can use that same information here within the PC software. So let's create our username, and we're going to create a password. And then here, once we've created the username, if you're going to be administrating the software, you can leave all of this information checkmarked. If you're creating this user for someone else to use, you can uncheck any of these boxes, which will restrict their access of being able to do any one of these functions. So once that's completed, you can go ahead and click on add. And now the next time we go to log into the software, we can, instead of the administrator, we can click on that name. We can enter our new name, our new username, and our new password, and then from here forward we'll be able to use that username and password to log into the software. Alright, so once we're logged in, we can close the user management tab that takes us back to the control panel. So the next thing we want to do is make it easy to find the pictures and videos that we export from the software. To do this, we click on the client configuration gear, and then at the top under audio and video, we want to first click on snapshot, and under the snapshot, under image save path, we want to make sure that we click on browse, and then I always suggest to make it on your desktop so it's easy to find. You want to click on the desktop, and if you don't already have a folder called video export, go ahead and right click and say new, and then create a new folder and name it whatever you want, so that you know what the videos are. For here we already have one called video export, so I'm just going to select that one, and I'm going to click apply. Now I'm going to do the same thing under recording. So here we have two things under recording. We have a local recording path, which we'll explain very shortly, and a downloaded recorder path. Both of those we want to set and assign also that same folder on our desktop. So we want to choose video export, and then do the same thing with this one, and then we want to click apply, and then click OK. Now from here forward, anything that we save from the software will get saved to that new folder that we created on the desktop. Makes it much easier to find when you need to share or send that video or link to someone else. It just makes it easier to get to the video that's already on your desktop ready to go. So before we can view live cameras or playback our video, we need to make sure that the software is connected to our NVR or DVR. Your technician should have already taken care of connecting the software to your NVR or DVR. However, if that has not yet been done, the next thing we need to do is navigate to device management. And in here we have a couple different options, but from here what we want to do is click on cloud device, and from here we're going to use the same information that we created in our cloud account. And your technician should have already helped you create a cloud account. If you have not yet created a cloud account to connect to your DVR, just contact Schmidt Security Pro, and we will get you the information, step-by-step guide of creating your cloud account. Once that's created, then we can use that cloud account to connect our software to our NVR. So here we're just going to connect our cloud account. So I've already got one created, and I'm just going to say log in. Now once I log in, it's going to populate some information here. It's going to tell me at the top the cloud account, what a cloud account it's logged into. And then down here at the bottom, it's going to tell me what devices are shared with me from my cloud account. And it takes about 10 to 15 seconds or so for it to actually establish a connection to your device. And once it does, it should show up down here at the bottom and tell you the status that it's online and it's ready to go. So once that's done, we're now ready to view live video or playback from that device. So we can close the management tab. This takes us back to the control panel. Alright, now that our device is connected, let's navigate to the Live View tab. And in the Live View tab, you'll notice 4 screens automatically come up on the right hand side, and then any of the DVRs or access systems or anything else that this software can control will be populated here on the left. Now your DVR should have a name here at the top, and then you'll see that it's connected. Here we're connected to the one to our operations demo DVR that's here. And to see the cameras that are under it, if we click the plus next to it, this populates all available cameras that are connected to that particular recorder. To view the cameras, you can select one of the cameras individually and drag them into any one of the open boxes on the right hand side. Or to view all of the cameras attached to that DVR, simply left click on the DVR, highlight it, left click and drag it into the first box, and all of the available cameras on the DVR will populate into the tiles available. This particular DVR only has one camera on it, so that's all that we're seeing right now. You can click and drag this camera into any one of the available boxes, anywhere on the screen, in any order that you wish to see. You can also adjust this grid to any other of these several boxes here at the bottom. You can do a 9 grid, which is what we have now, or you can do a 4 grid to where we just see the 4 cameras, or we can do a 16 to where we're looking at 16 available cameras on the screen at one time. Once we navigate and move our cameras where we want them on the screen, and if we want to save this so that we can come back to it, we can click on a save button here, and we can call this our default view, or we can call this our maybe outside cameras, or we can call this this one for example is our shop camera. So if we had several cameras in one area, you can put them all on the screen at the same time and save the view, and I'll show you how to get back to that saved view here very shortly. I also want to show you some other options that you have. You have a customizable grid, so you're not just locked into the default ones that the system assigns you here at the bottom. If I click on edit, now I have some options of the view that I'm looking at. Right now by default we're in a 3x3 pattern. If I click on add to add a new one, I can select this higher, so we can make it a 6x6 view, or we can make it an 8x8 view. We can also click and drag, so if I want one camera to be big and then several cameras to be small, I can left click and drag and combine this to where this layout has one large camera and then the rest of them are regular. So I click OK, and now I have that one that I created. And again, I can move the cameras in any position and anywhere on the screen that I want, and I can save them. Okay, so let's say that we've closed all, there's nothing on the screen, and we want to get back to that one live view that we saved. So if I click on this left box down here, which is kind of the grid symbol, this has a couple of default views that we've assigned, or the custom one that we've created. If I click on play on the custom one that we created, that's the one that we saved just a moment ago. So down here at the bottom, we just want to go over these last couple of buttons down here. This one obviously we went over is our grid layout. The next one is saving the grid layout, as we've seen already. The next one just closes any open tile that's open or any stream that's open looking at a camera. The next one over takes a picture of all of the cameras that are on the screen at one time. So if we're playing this grid view and we're looking at it and I click a snapshot, then it saves a picture from each one of these cameras and sticks it in a file so that we can see what's happening currently on the screen. If you want to see any of the cameras in the full window, just simply double click on the camera and it will pull that camera into the full window. You can also full screen the entire program. In the bottom right hand corner is kind of this box with the 4 arrows in each corner. If you click on that, now it makes the camera the entire screen. And to get back out, you just hit escape and that takes us back to the regular menu where we're at. So now we're looking at our camera in full screen. We have a couple options at the bottom corner, bottom left corner of the camera. The first one is a snapshot, so we can take a picture of what's happening right now. The next one is start local recording, and what this will do is what you're watching live right now, it will start recording what you're watching live to your local computer. Those file folders that we set up in the beginning, under configuration, that's where all of this data and the pictures and all the video that we click on is being stored too. So if I click on start local recording, it starts recording what is happening live right now on this camera, and we let it go for just a few minutes, a few seconds, and then we'll stop recording. And as you can see over here on the right, it says exporting the video and it tells you where it's saving it at. We'll get to that here very shortly. I just want to go over the rest of the options here at the bottom of the camera. The next one is enable digital zoom. So right now to enable digital zoom, if I highlight this, now I can use my mouse wheel, if your mouse has a wheel, and just kind of point to something you want to zoom in and roll your mouse wheel into that location. You can move your mouse anywhere on the screen, and anywhere you stop and roll your mouse wheel, that's where you roll into. If your mouse doesn't have a wheel, you can left click and drag and draw a box around what you want to zoom in on, and it will zoom in on that one specific area. The next two icons over is audio and microphone. Some of our cameras do have audio recording available, and if you want to listen to the particular camera that's viewed up on the screen, you can click turn audio on and you'll be able to hear the microphone that's in that camera. The next icon over is some of our cameras also have two-way audio where you can talk back through the camera that's mounted, and you can talk to them by clicking the two-way audio. So the last icon we want to go over is the instant playback. If I click this icon, it will just play back the last 5 minutes of recording if there's been recording there in the last 5 minutes. Quick, easy way to see, hey, what was that just happened? You can click instant playback and see the last 5 minutes of video recorded. Alright, now we're going to look at playback. So we can go ahead and close the live view tab. This takes us back to the control panel. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is look at playback. So we're back to the main control panel, and let's click on the playback icon. Now you'll notice the view looks very similar to live view, only there's a couple notable differences. At the bottom we have a calendar on the left hand side, and underneath the video we now have a time bar that represents a 24-hour time period from basically midnight to 11:59 p.m. and that will be each day that we search on the video. That time reference will follow each day that we search video. So to show you that, let's click on the DVR on the left hand side. So for this one we only have one, so let's click on the DVR that we want to look at, and then you'll notice the calendar changed to show us days that it has recording stored. And for this, it's showing us this current month, or we can go back to last month, or back as far as the DVR has recording, so we can see we've got recording back a couple months. So let's pick a particular day, Let's choose Wednesday, June 16th, and we're going to click search. So now the system is going to show us everything that happened on June 16th in a 24-hour time window at the bottom on the time bar. And you can see that there's only one camera still attached to this system, so let's double click on that, pull it up full screen, and now it's already actually playing back that video from 4 in the morning. And you can see as I slide over some time in the time bar with my mouse, the time is changing. If I left click with the mouse, then we should see the video change very quickly to what video is stored there at those times. So just to kind of explain the time bar a little bit, anywhere you see an orange or red dash, depending on what your screen looks like, that just means that there's something, an event that happened or something that the DVR recorded on that particular day. So if there's nothing there, for instance in this window right here, that just means there's no recording at that time. The DVR was not recording video. If there's a red line there, that means there was an event happening or some reason that the DVR recorded video. So as you can see, to navigate through the time, it's very easy. You just slide your mouse over the time you want to look at and click play. Click to play. Okay, so let's say we've searched today, we didn't find any information that we wanted today, so maybe the event happened the next day. So what we need to do is click stop, choose our DVR again, and then choose the day, the 17th this time, and click search. Now we're looking again at 24 hours of time that happened on the 17th. So we can double click our camera again and choose to where there's some action so we can see things happening. Alright, so let's say we found our event and now we want to export this event to save to our computer, to give to the police, or just share with HR. Whatever you want to do with the video, you're ready to export. So once you're ready to export, if you slide up to the camera, you have a couple options that pop up in the very bottom of the screen. One, you have a snapshot where you can just take a picture, and it takes a picture of the playback video that we're looking at. The next one is zoom, and if you click zoom, it's the same zoom option you had in the live view. You can zoom in on the video in playback just like you could in live view. Alright, so let's say we found the event that we want to save. So the next step is to navigate up to the screen, and this time we're going to choose on start clipping, which is the scissors icon in the bottom left hand corner of the video. So I say start clipping, and you see the icon changed. Now it will say stop clipping. So what we want to do is let the video play to the end of the event, or if you know it's this whole time period here at the bottom, you can simply click to the end of that event, and now the system knows that you want to save that entire piece of the video. So you can go back up to the video screen and click stop clipping, and what this is going to say, it's going to tell you specifically which camera, the start time and the end time, and it's going to ask you whether you want to download it in high speed or normal. High speed's normal if you have a good network. If you're doing this remotely, maybe over from home to your recorder at your office, you may want to choose normal, just to save on some network bandwidth a little bit. When you're ready, go ahead and click OK, and you'll see on the right hand side there, a recording task has been created, and it should start downloading that video automatically. To show that it is, down in the bottom very left hand corner, you should see kind of a file folder with a little arrow, and the arrow should be bouncing up and down, showing you that it's downloading the video. If you click on that icon, it does show us that it's recording that start time and end time that we chose, and showing us the progress that it's downloading. So we're going to let that go. Alright, so let's say specifically that we didn't need to search for the video. You know specifically a date and time that you want to back up. You know the event happened on this day, you just want the video recorded from this day and time. You can click down here at the bottom on the icon right next to the folder icon, and this one will bring up a recording download window, and from here we can choose our DVR, which is the first one here at the top. And then from here, if you know the start time and the end time, you can go ahead and choose the start time and the end time. So let's say our event we know happened on the 14th at maybe 8 o'clock in the morning, and we only need to see that until 9 o'clock in the morning. Get this to 9 o'clock. And we click OK. Now we can say search, and it's going to search for the video during that time. It's gathered all of the information that it needs, and if you're ready to download the video between 8 o'clock and 9:54, you can just simply say download, and it will start another download. You can see it in this window that it's going to download the time we just chose. I'm going to stop that one for this video. So as we can see, our other one finished processing, so it should all be downloaded. So we were looking at one camera specifically for playback. Let's say you had multiple cameras and you wanted to watch all of them at the same time as playback. You can choose your DVR on the left hand side. You can click the plus arrow, and now all of your cameras should show up here on the left. And then down here at the bottom you can choose how many cameras you want to watch at the same time. So I'm going to click on 9. So it's going to populate all 9 cameras at the same time. It's going to pull them up here on the grid. Now I can navigate the time bar at the bottom, and if I had more than one camera, it would show me all 9 cameras at the same time, and the video would play at the same time. So at least it would be synchronized. You could see all 9 cameras happening at the same time. This one obviously is the same thing we had in live view. You can click close, or you can take a snapshot just like you could in live view of the playback video, everything that's happening on the screen. Now with our DVRs, there is one other way to view video, and this kind of helps if you're not quite sure when the event happened, or you know an object was there and then it was no longer there, or something was removed and you think it should be there. There is a way to what's called smart search our DVRs. So at the top, by default, it chooses normal recording playback, and what we want to do is click that drop down. And then we have a bunch of options in here, but what we want to choose is Smart Recording Playback. So I can click on Smart Recording Playback. Now we go through the same process of navigating the video. So we want to choose our DVR, and we want to choose the camera that we want to see. Now the Smart Playback is camera specific, so it is one camera at a time. So let's just say, for instance, we're using this camera, and we wanted to know something happened. Let's pick 2 weeks ago, and we click search. Alright, so now we're going to see a grid on the screen, and this grid helps us to pinpoint a specific area for an event that happened in that specific area. So right now by default it chooses the whole screen. So what we want to do is down here at the bottom you have a couple options. So the first one is finish, so I'll show you that in a second. The next one is select the entire screen like it is right now, and this third one is clear all. So by default it chooses the whole screen, but let's just say we want to only look at this area, maybe right here at our inventory gate. So we want to click on the X, which clears the entire area, and now we want to click on the first one here, which is draw. So we're going to draw a box around our inventory gate and just let go. And now you see those red grid just changes around that area. So what we want to do now is that we've chosen that area. Now we want to tell our system to search for a video just in that area on the day we chose. So we want to click search one more time. And now what our system's going to do is show us a video that happened only in that search area and ignore everything else. So you'll notice the time bar now looks a little bit different. It's still giving us our 24-hour time window start to finish, but now we should see some green marks mixed with red marks. So anywhere that there's a green mark, means that there was an event that happened with inside the box that you drew. The red dashes that are there are just other motion events that the recorder picked up, but specifically the green ones. So if I navigate here to the green one, this should tell me something that happened inside of that box that we've chosen. So this is morning time here. Our guys are just getting here. They're getting loaded up, getting ready to go. So there's activity inside that window. So here's an event that happened a little later in the day. Somebody gets really close to that box, and probably very shortly we'll walk into that box. So what the system's doing is just going back a few seconds, few minutes before that time, and showing us video before and after. So you'll also notice in the time bar that the system will skip events. So if you see that there's a red event, coming up, or there's a green event, the system will it'll kind of skip through those events until it gets to the green ones that you want to look at. So just keep in mind the green ones are events that happened inside the window that you drew. So this can really help you not have to scrub through the video all day long, especially if it's looking at a counter and you're looking for maybe for instance this gray tote that's sitting here disappeared throughout the day. We can draw a box around that gray tote and only look for motion events or triggers that happened with inside that one little window, and that helps us narrow down our search. Alright, and then from here then there is not a way to export the video from here. So once we know that specific time, so we say we found our event, it's on 7/14 at 3 o'clock. So somebody set something in that tote at 3 o'clock. So what we want to do then is go back to our normal recording playback, and we just want to search that same day, and then we want to go to that same time, so about 3 o'clock. Alright, so there's the video, same day, same time. And now we just begin our clipping process again. So we start at the beginning of the event, and there he's putting it in the tote, and we know it's finished. So we go to the end of the event, and then we do our clipping again, and now it's saving that video to our computer. Okay, so we finished playback. You do have some other options here at the bottom. You can pause the video. You can stop the video. You can also, when you're in playback, so let's say we're watching video and you want to speed the video up. So let's say you're watching this video and you want it to be faster than just regular speed. If you click on the speed bar here, you just kind of slide it forward. Now we're watching the video in 16x. So you can see the video moving very quickly there. If you slow it back down to 1x, then you can see what's happening in normal speed. You can go slower than that. You can go all the way down to rewind in -16x. If it's at regular speed and we go half, then this is half speed, a quarter's the speed. So if you're looking for that precise event, slow the video down or speed it up. Now let's navigate out to find those videos that we stored on our computer. So unless you're doing anything with access control or anything else that we've connected to this software, basically just live view and playback and some of that client configuration is the only things that you'll need the software for. So let's minimize this and see if we can find that folder on our desktop where we stored that video. So we double click on the folder, and there should be the files that we clipped and stored through today. So you'll see there today's date. So if we click on that, we're also looking inside of there. Now we see some video that's been downloaded and recorded. Here's those snapshots that we took. And this should be the video, one of the videos that we downloaded. Back, those last couple of ones that we downloaded just by clicking the download button or the clipping, the live clipping, should be here. So now we're looking at that video that we clipped. can see this got all 14 minutes of the video. So what we can do from here then is obviously right click on this and say share it with somebody. You can move it to a flash drive, you can save it to a DVD if you wish to. Once the video is here, it's playable in any PC, any modern PC. It will not play in, on an older Windows XP or something like that, but it should play in any modern PC. And you can give this to the police department. You can email it to the police department if it's not very big. And from there, you can save the files, you can document them, you can put them in a personnel file, whatever you need to do. The video is yours to deal with from that point. We will recommend that if you have an event that happened, we want you we recommend that you get to the recorder and back that event up. That way you save it. That way it doesn't get written over. Because DVRs never stop recording; they just continually keep recording. So if you do have an event that happened, we recommend that you use the software, back it up, and save it, and then you'll always have it. If you have any other questions or concerns, make sure you reach out to us at schmidtsecurity.com, or if you have questions or need support, you can reach us at helpdesk at schmidtsecurity.com, and we'll take care of you as quick as we can. Thanks for being a great customer.